Bum, bum. Hello, guys. Long time no see. Welcome back to another episode. Like I said before, I'm starting off every episode with a couple of fun facts. One's going to be about me. One's going to be about the world, just so no one comes on and you miss any of the juicy stuff. So the first fun fact that's about me will be that when I was younger, I used to do figure skating, and I got first place at my tournament. See, that's how long I did figure skating. But I was a great figure skater at 5 years old. Good thing I'm 6'2" now and could probably never do that again. My second fun fact is that 1,000,000 seconds is about 2 weeks, and 1,000,000,000 seconds is about 32 years. So that's crazy when you think about the difference that 1,000,000 and 1,000,000,000 is. Okay, well, welcome back to another episode of What's Next with Ronika, where I go on live with former student athletes who are now in the world of sports and entertainment to ask them about the transition from student athlete to professional, and throughout, I didn't copy and paste, ask questions. I need to remember questions in the question box. My phone already knows what I'm saying, and so they just automatically have it right there. But our guest for today is Mary Mullins. She does product and brand management with Mizuno, former Indiana volleyball star. So we're going to welcome her on right now. And throughout the live, you can ask her questions, and we'll try to get them answered as much as we can. Hey!
Hello, Ronika. I feel like I shouldn't have answered, though, after you said Illinois instead of Indiana.
I was like, wait, that sounds so wrong. Sorry, Big Ten eyes. Indiana.
I know. It gets confusing, too. I remember at one point, Wisconsin, Nebraska, and Indiana were all red, or Indiana's crimson, right?
Yeah.
And we were all Adidas schools, too. And so it was wait, we're all just in the middle of the Midwest wearing red and Adidas. How is someone going to tell us apart? This is confusing. So
it's not even the Big Ten. It's the Big 14 or however many schools are in that conference.
Yeah,
you got to change the name.
Yeah, date myself. I feel like that was after my time. I think we were at Big 12 when I left, technically. But
okay. But before I get started, I'm going to tell everyone a little bit about who you are. Indiana, she was a 4-year setter. I'm guessing you guys ran a 6'2" because it was played in all games, but started this many.
Yeah,
were you guys in a 6'2"?
Moved around, and yeah, we kind of switched it up. We did. I know. Am I the first volleyball player that you've had?
You are.
That makes me really excited. And also, I want to congratulate you on the USA jerseys and the USA jacket that you have on. That's awesome. What an accomplishment, repping the home team. Hey, you got to. I love that. I wish I would have pursued it more in college. But to your question about playing 5'1", 6'2", which all of these people on here obviously know about, we did a little bit of both. It just kind of depended on the rest of the team. I think that's what's so unique about volleyball specifically is it's really a sport where every single person on the floor matters, and your whole strategy has to adapt depending on, is Cindy having a good match? Oh, Cindy's really bad, so we have to bring in Joy, and now Joy's killing it, so we're going to shift this. But yeah, so we did a little bit of both. I definitely was not good at defense. Are you good at defense?
I would like to think I am, but not really. I just go out there.
Yeah, so I was not. There was actually one practice where we had guys who played on our club team come and practice with us sometimes just to up the competitiveness a little bit. And I was right back, deep line. A guy got up, just ripped it straight at me, literally hit me right in the face, took me out for 3 seconds. And I'm wobbling getting up. But the best part is I go back into practice the next day, and he had put a body outline on the floor from where he had hit me.
That is so disrespectful.
I was dead. I was so that explains basically my defensive ability. But yeah, sometimes I did play back row.
Well, while she was in a 6'2", she always led her team in assists. So people that don't know that, there was 2 setters. She was the better setter. is what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I'll take
that. You got the Big Ten Sportsmanship Award. You hosted a weekly blog that had 10,000 views by the end of your season. But now, like everything that you did as a student athlete, how has your student athlete experience shaped who you are as a professional?
Yeah, gosh, in so many ways. And I'm so grateful for it. I think, and I want to say to you, I'm sorry that your senior year had to kind of end this funky way that it did. That my heart hurts for you and all the other seniors. Like I can't imagine that. So I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I think even with your season ending or year ending the way that it did, like the things that you learn and the relationships that you've made, hopefully over those 4 years, is the bigger advantage, I think, to playing a D1 sport, and I think you, from what I've seen and heard from Maria and Kareem, and happy birthday, Maria, shout out to Maria. Yeah. From what I've seen that you've done, I think it's so much bigger than what happens on the court. And I think it's the relationships you make and how genuinely you make them. And I'm sure you're learning right now about networking and how that transitions into the real world. And I think at the root of it, it comes down to loving people. And if you love people well and genuinely, then they're going to be there for you. And I think those are the relationships, and that love can carry you into the next chapter. So I would say that was my biggest thing from playing college volleyball that I took, was the relationships that I made there, for sure.
Speaking on like relationship with Kareen and Maria, and I guess Kareen said that you're a day one, like for the winning edge.
She put me as a day one.
Yeah, she said that you're a day one supporter. Yeah. I guess aside from like you being personal friends with them too, why do you support the winning edge?
Oh my gosh.
Unless that's your only reason.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, I love them both so much, but if I don't support something and believe in it, I'm not going to waste my time on it, because our time's so valuable. I commend Maria and Kareen for really stepping out when a lot of things were telling them to just stay in your lane. You have a great job. Why would you want to mess that up? And they had a vision for something, and I'm so grateful that they looped me in for those first interviews, for the first mentees that we had, and the rain boots that we wore for setting up the first little barbecue that Kareen put together. It's been great, but I think the mission is so much bigger than me. And I think it's also having the perspective to recognize that, especially as a white woman. I have to recognize that, yes, there's things that are stacked against me, but I also do have clear lanes that are made for me. And I think that's something a lot of us could benefit from, being more self-aware with that. And if I can do my little part of helping move us all forward in that vehicle, if it's through the winning edge, that's awesome. But yeah, so yes, I'm friends with them, but also the mission of this is not way better than being friends with them, but it's definitely a bonus.
But while in your time as a student athlete, you were also a marketing intern for your school's football and basketball team, which football is an in-season responsibility. And hearing that you had the vlog too, I feel like you had a lot of other stuff going on outside of your sport. How are you able to do all of that but still be successful?
Oh, first of all, Kareen, yes, you can hug me through the phone. I just saw the comment pop up. But yeah, I did a lot in college. Looking back, I'm super grateful for the staff that was around me. My coach allowed me and supported me. Coach Sherry Dunbar supported me in doing a lot of extra things, but she didn't let me do it until my sophomore year. She sat me down freshman year and she was like, hey, I know you want to join a sorority. I know you want to do student government. I know you want to do all this stuff, but like, I need you to show me that you can fulfill your scholarship requirements, right? And produce on and off the court. So I had to do that first. I think that's important for people to understand. In anything, you have to earn it, right? So I earned that extra kind of boundaries, I guess you could say, to be able to take on. And it was a lot. I'm grateful for everyone in the athletic department too. And you feel that in Oregon, right? When they're supporting you and want to do different reporting after games and stuff. a lot of times I got kind of lucky. Kyle Kuhlman was RSID at the time, and he actually approached me with the blog idea. And I remember being like, I don't know. And I used to have like, it was like a flip phone camera thing. I thought I was so cool. But like looking back, I'm like, those lasted for like maybe 2 years. And then Apple
for those
was
2
like,
years you were
we got
hit.
you. Oh, I was like technologically advanced. But yeah, so I'm grateful for people recognizing strengths that I didn't see in myself and supporting me through it. So I would like attribute that to the blog. Like Kyle was like, hey, Mary's outgoing, fun. Here, let's see if she can take her team's story and make it available to others. Which for better or for worse, I did.
Was that something that you wanted to do, or is that something that they just saw within you?
Yeah, I think they saw it within me. At this point, a lot of universities didn't have, when I started the video blog for IU Athletics, they didn't really have sports media like for each team the way that we do now, right? You have an Instagram for Oregon Volleyball, for Indiana Volleyball, shout out. And like we didn't have that. So it was a lot of kind of like, oh, let's try this, see if it works. And so again, he approached me with it. And then by him, I think saying like, I'm just outgoing, I can talk to a wall if I really want to. I think that turned actually my interest that matured into production, which I think eventually led me to ESPN and wanting to kind of try out that career in that field.
So you went from, once you graduated, becoming an analyst for the Big Ten Network, and then while you were the ESPNU campus director. You're
hyping me up so
from
good.
From looking at like every job title that you've had, it seems that like they've all happened so fast. Like on your LinkedIn, like there's no like breakage in a year. It's like I was this year, and like I was also this within that same year, and then like it kept going. Yeah. And so, how were you able to get all of those opportunities and all of those different titles?
Yeah, I think when you're speaking of that was in college, right? Yeah. And I think I don't know about you. Do you go home for summers in college, or do you stay and train?
We go home for like a week, but we have summer school and stay and train.
Okay. Yeah. So same. And so for me, recognizing that school and volleyball are the full-time job, I just wanted to try and fit in anything else I could when I could to try and compete, right? Because I was looking at we called them noners. What do you call them? Like non-athletes? Did you call?
We call them narcs.
Narcs. Okay.
We call
Every
narcs.
school I feel like has narcs. Okay. So I would like. Yeah. I mean, it's a thing. And I would always look at like the narcs. If for people who don't know, non-athletic regular people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll make it known. It's fine. I would be like competitive with them, especially being in a sorority. A lot of my sorority sisters are so bright and outgoing and driven. And I would see them doing these incredible internships or jobs, during school. And I was like, wait, my resume only says Indiana volleyball right now, which is great. But like, if I want to compete when I'm out of school, I need to get right.
Yeah.
Like how do I raise my bar? And so I think that's why you maybe in a way are impressed by the fact I had so much in college, because I was just trying to keep up a little bit. And
as someone who did a lot in college and is doing a lot outside of your college
you're killing
career.
it. Oh, I'm not talking about
as
yourself.
No, for you.
No, hold on. This light is like really bright. Be right back. Okay. Better. Okay.
With everything you know now,
yeah.
How can student athletes do what you're doing or what you did, but better? Because it's always about competing. You always want to be better.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to say the same thing. How can you be better?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's a good question. I think if I were to go back, especially now as a student athlete, I'm really grateful to say I don't know if I'd do a lot different, because again, I think it goes back to loving people really well. Because you can say like, oh, I wish I would have connected with this department, or I wish I would have tried to intern here. or check more boxes, so to speak. But again, if you're not doing it with pure intention, then it's not going to ever give either side of the relationship any fruit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my advice, would just be, if your heart's led to do something or try something, do it, but do it full on.
Yeah.
Don't just check a box.
So what is, I guess, like 3 takeaways, or I guess the most important thing for you that your role as a student athlete that you see now, like looking at student athletes now, being away from being a student athlete that you see now that you didn't see then, that I guess could have helped you, or could help current student athletes, like something that, you know, outside looking in, it's like student athletes should be doing this to be successful.
I think humble yourself. I think sometimes you're not, I want to say a little fish or big fish, little pond, but you become in a bubble, especially in athletics, right? Like, we used to always hang out with like the soccer guys and the basketball guys and the field hockey girls. Like, that was the volleyball crew's little world.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, do you have the same kind of thing?
Volleyball, we were like football and basketball, and then the girls' team was like our acrobatics and tumbling and cheer team. It was so random.
So they're like this big, and you're like,
yeah, it was like the tallest of the tall and the smallest of the small.
That's awesome. That's so good. I like can't even do a somersault, so that's also hysterical. Which goes back to my reason of being bad at defense. I could never roll. But anyway, I think shoot, what was the question? What could I tell someone to do better? Oh yeah, be humble. I think it's just you're in a bubble to a certain extent, and recognizing that especially your life after college is way bigger than that. And so while you might think like, oh, I can do this, like, this is cool, I can cut this corner, or I'm above something, like, I don't have to pick up that trash after practice, the janitor will get it. Like, what makes you think you're better than somebody else? You know, what makes you think that you're entitled? And I think sometimes when you're in that bubble, you kind of are prone to lean that way. So just checking yourself.
Yeah, I think I say it all the time. Like, we're so spoiled, and it's hard to realize it because it's your everyday. It's like every day someone's doing my laundry and folding it for me on my on my locker.
Do you have the loop? Like, do you have the loop?
Yeah, we have the loop.
Oh, I missed the loop.
I'm like, every day someone's doing that for me, and it's just like, that's not a common thing. We are so spoiled, and it's just become a part of our everyday life, and people don't realize that until they get humbled in the real world. And it's like, oh, no one's gonna cater to my every need.
Yeah. Or when I'm walking down the street, like, people aren't asking for an autograph. Like, I have some good friends who played sports that got more media attention during college, right? And now they're in their adult phase of life. And it's, you know, we all have our own struggles. We all have our own trials that we're going through and stuff like that. But I think if we're in, especially for student athletes, if you can recognize, like, even if you go to play pro, right, it's still eventually going to come to an end. So where is your identity truly lying? And if that identity can be found in your purpose as opposed to your title or your position, praise the Lord, because then you're going to be steady, right? But if your purpose is going to be, or excuse me, if your identity is going to be found strictly in like that Oregon jersey or even that USA jersey, unfortunately, that's fleeting at a certain point.
Yeah. I agree. Oh, it's like, it's
sad.
Is it scary?
How are you? Yeah. How are you feeling?
It's just like, it's a bunch of uncertainty right now because like the world shut down. And so not having graduation, that's tough. Not being able to train because I still want to go pro, that's tough. Trying to find a contract with the world being shut down, that's tough. So it's just like a waiting game, honestly. That's what I feel like 2020 is.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I don't envy that at all. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We're going to open up. We're going to lighten the mood. We're going to open up for questions.
Kareem, what do you actually, what would you say you do here?
Yeah, what is your actual job? Like, what is product and brand management?
Right. Great question. I try and figure it out every day.
I was going to ask that, but she beat me to it.
Yeah, no, it's good. So yeah, I have taken a crazy career path post college. And I'm so grateful for the way the Lord's led me, for sure, because his hand is in all of it, which is super cool to be able to recognize now. But for Mizuno, I am product manager. So I, just as of this year, oversee all of our training apparel. So basically all clothing that you would wear when you're not on court or on field for competition. So I just launched our campaign with Ronda Rousey. Do you know who she is?
Yeah.
The baddest bitch on the planet. There you go.
Like,
Glad you know who she is. Yeah. So she's the face of our line and our campaign. So working with her to develop apparel and bring it to market and support our athletes more in the crossover aspects of their lives. Because, you know, from playing volleyball, like, especially when you're younger and you're in a convention center and you play your match, but then you have 3 hours off, you're sleeping on concrete floor, right? And you're running in the hallways. Like, I'm bringing you back. I'm bringing you so back.
I'm having club AM or PM wave.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And you don't know till 9 o'clock the night before, and you're like, I have to go to bed. So all those feelings. But I think we, as a company, Mizuno, I'm excited to head up the training division because it's a part where we haven't been servicing our athlete in the past. So I'm excited that we are now able to fill that need and hopefully support athletes to achieve more, because that's the ultimate goal. Does that make sense, Kareem?
We're going to do one more question. I'm sorry. Kareem's like, let's see. Another one from Kareem. I had to like scroll through people.
Yeah.
Being an athlete, open the door to opportunities, but how do you feel like you attacked your early career development? She attacked it for sure.
Right? I was set up. Ha 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 ha. Gotta hit the volleyball pun. How did I attack my early career? Gosh, so I started off my career, I spent my first 4 years with ESPN. And that's where I met Karina and Maria, right? I would say, though, I did not get into ESPN with any connections. I freelanced for about 8 months when I decided that this was something I wanted to do. Both my parents were in sales in corporate America. So they were like, what do you mean you're going to freelance? What does that look like? But I was committed to trying to figure out the whole production world and not only figure it out, but hopefully make an impact on it, because I saw a lot of inequality, especially with women's sports, that I wanted to be able to learn more about first, but then hopefully eventually long-term be able to lift them up, right? And so early on, I would say I decided it's what I wanted. I freelanced. I met every single event that I worked. So I worked freelance production. And every event I worked, from the hot dog eating contest in Coney Island to the long drive competition in Vegas to college game day, like everything I did, or every event I worked. And the only way I got even to work those events was cold calling. I'll never forget the first randomly, like I worked a Butler college game day event, and I got it because the SID at Butler basketball, I asked him, I was like, hey, do you have the contact for ESPN, blah, blah, blah. And he gave me the coordinating producer's contact. You should never give that to just a tall girl who's like asking you for contact. But he did, by the grace of God, I guess. And I was very ignorant, and I called that person, and they kind
got
of,
your number.
I think they were so baffled and kind of impressed by my ignorant pursuit of what I wanted, that they gave me like a job as a runner. And through that, I just kept getting cards and making relationships. Again, that's so important. And then I got my next event, and I got my next event. And I mean, I was over-undering cables at all of these events too. I was not sitting pretty as a graphics operator or, I think I've actually worked like at some point, maybe I was sun gun for a handful of people that then became on my shows that I helped produce with. So I would just say it was the early start of my career was a lot of learning about the industry, learning how I fit into the industry, and then again, loving people and creating relationships that then secured me a position at headquarters in Bristol. So
Yeah.
it was cool.
Thanks for asking the questions, Creed, and others. We've reached our time. I'm so happy that I got a fellow volleyball player on the chat so we can joke around. She said, how did you attack? That was another one. And then you said I set it up. Like, you missed it. But it's fine.
We're here.
Thank you so much for being on, and I enjoyed our conversation.
It was so nice talking to you. Thanks for having me on. And I want to encourage you that you're doing all the right things, and his timing is way greater than ours, but I'll be praying that the pro offer can come through in hopefully a nice place, a tropical place maybe.
Yeah, no.
Or close to home. But you're doing all the right things, and I'm excited to see what you continue to do.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Nice talking to you. Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. So we ended our episodes our lives for today. Next episodes next Thursday, or this Thursday. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. This Thursday, we're going to have the Maria Taylor. She is the co-founder of the Instagram page that I am on. So if you don't know who she is, you should. Maria Taylor and Tiki Barber. And we're going to have great conversations with them. Keep participating, keep following, and keep subscribing and turning your push notifications on. Like I said before, where's my Mobot? Want to thank our partners, Mobot. First foam roll water bottle. I didn't actually believe, that I'm kind of a big girl, 6'2", that I would be able to roll on this bottle and not dent it. But it works really well. You can go on their website and use promo code What's Next to get 25% off. And then also Amazon, if you're a big Amazon shopper, I know my brother is, I am, we mess around trying to buy random Amazon things. Use smile.amazon.com and search for the charity We Leadership and donate. You're not making the donation, Amazon is, so don't worry about having to spend extra money. Amazon will spend that money for you. So thank you for tuning in, and see you guys again on Thursday. Dun, dun, dun.